Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of your Brains Coach podcast. My name is Angela Shurina. I'm your host, I'm your Brains Coach, and it is my job here to deconstruct, borrowing a phrase of Tim Ferriss, one of the best podcasts out there. Well, deconstruct to bring to your awareness, to familiarize, to share with you the most useful, fascinating, most effective tools from all corners of optimal performance, personal excellence, sciences and practices, different books, high performance teachers and coaches and neuroscience and studies and research put into a framework of practical habits and solution-oriented thinking. All of that expect to hear, expect to learn, expect to encounter on this podcast. Today's podcast is going to be a little bit of everything. Mindset work, how to lose fat and how to not fall for silly ideas that are not supported by any good science. In fact, there is science to the opposite, and that's why you shouldn't be trusting, or at least you should put every single book that you read on things like weight loss, or even things like health and blood sugar regulation or longevity into the context of your life. And ask yourself, who is this book written about? Or who's this book written for? And in what situation it actually applies? And to be honest, let me make a side note here, what I'm also personally learning. Every single thing that you learn, whether that's a coaching method, whether that's a mindset management technique, whether that's a business tool, whether that's a fat loss tool, it has to be contextualized. What it means is you have to ask yourself these questions. Who is it about? Whose life does it apply to? What kind of problem does it solve for whom again? And what kind of people does it apply the best to? So whatever you hear, it does not work universally for everyone, for every single context. And usually an author writes for a specific audience to solve a very specific problem. And chances are you might not be that person, or not the person with that context. And even though some of the principles might work for you, for your goal, but they need to be applied in a more personalized way to be effective. So again, today, from mindset management to fat loss management to also, let me actually start with this, reviews on Google. So one of the goals or aspirations or habits I'm building this year on the business side is getting better at getting reviews and getting feedback. I've been in coaching for 15 years, and believe it or not, after working with hundreds and hundreds of people one-on-one and also in groups, I gathered so few testimonials, and that is because I had close to zero business education, and that's what I'm paying for, with a lot of failures, with a lot of financial difficulties, with a lot of not being just able to go as fast as I can. And that's one, first of all, the goal for this year is to get at least basic business education. How do you actually build things from scratch? That, and also getting reviews, getting feedback. And back to Google. Does your business have a profile on Google? Did you know that you could put your business profile for free on Google? So when people search for something, especially locally, how Google does it, your business can pop up and people can see what your business does, what problems it solves, and also, you can put reviews there that are super easy then to share with people, with your potential customers, anyone who searches for specific businesses, for specific problems to be solved on internet. They can see your business, they can see what you do, and they can read the reviews. Again, that you can share, you can ask for reviews from your customers. It's easy. Google gives you the link to ask for a review, to basically send it to anyone to ask for that review. And why reviews are so important for your business, folks? Because number one, when you have reviews for example, on Google, you have your business page. Again, it's free and it's additional searchable tool or advertising tool. So you have your business on Google and you have your reviews there. So when people see your business page, they read the reviews, they first understand what kind of problems you solve and what kind of people you help. So they see that, and then they can picture themselves going through the same process, getting their problems solved. That is number one. Number two, it allows you to see through people's feedback what people actually value about your business. Like, again, back to my situation, what do people find the most valuable, and how can I double down on that to make my offering, my service more unique and more wow experience, so the customers keep coming back. Like that's why also collecting reviews and feedback is so important. And number three, it allows you as a person, like me as an educator, me as a coach, me as a trainer, it allows me to learn what I'm good at, what I'm not that good at, and what could I, again, improve and how I can grow. So feedback and reviews are one of my business habits that now I apply every single time. And that's the habit I'm building because I haven't built it before. Every single time I do any workshop, any session, coaching, obviously, any talk, anything where I add value, I interact with people, I do things professionally in the areas that matter for me to grow, I ask for people. I ask actually for two things: for feedback, in a specific way. I ask, next time, from your perspective, what can I do better? That, by the way, a way of asking for this kind of feedback I learned from Adam Grant, popular, very famous writer, best-selling author. He is an organizational psychologist, and he recently wrote a book, Hidden Potential. Amazing book. A lot of tools for personal development put in the context of different stories. Great read as well. So he said, don't ask people, how did I do? Or anything along those lines, but instead ask that, next time, what one, maybe a couple of things from your perspective, I can do better to do better. And that's the way I'm asking for feedback now, and I'm getting really good feedback every time. But then also, the part of this habit is for every single time when I do something with other people, coaching, wise speaking, workshop, etc., just asking for reviews. Could you put a couple of sentences about the experience that we had and what you valued the most, what you liked the most? And then people go and easily on Google, everyone has their Gmail account. That's why it's also, you see real people leaving reviews. You have that set up. So if you are an entrepreneur, business owner, or even just solopreneur, and you have your side gig, just put your business, your LLC, your whatever business formation you have, put yourself up there and make yourself more findable for free. And then also have this very easy way, even if you don't have a website, to start collecting feedback, to start collecting reviews. Then you can share with your potential customers, partners, or collaborators. So that's what I wanted to share with you from my personal journey and my new business habits that I'm building and why it's so crucial. And you hopefully learned something about asking for feedback. Don't just ask, how did I do? Actually ask a couple of constructive things for the next time. Because also, past is past. Now moving forward, get better. 3 mindsets. That's the next topic, mindset training. By the way, I'm creating a lot of workshops and programs for entrepreneurs, for teams in companies, especially in tech and innovation companies, for startups. I'm creating a lot of different programs for them to work on their mindset, because more and more people understand that what makes people excel is actually how we manage our mindset. And it's not just having, if you're familiar with this term, fixed or growth mindset. It's not knowing about them. It's actually about practicing certain things, just like practicing any habit. Just because you know what growth mindset is and what fixed mindset is, it doesn't change you unless you start practicing certain ritual, certain habits, certain skills through exercises, sometimes writing, sometimes behavior exercises, sometimes even thinking exercises, or, different mindfulness training to even be able to catch when you practice one mindset over another. But all of that to say that mindset skills is going to be the set of skills that everyone is going to get on board on. And that's what I'm seeing right now. Actually, businesses picking up, and companies and startups and leaders are interested more and more in delivering this training, not to themselves, but to their teams, because as a leader, you can only do that much by yourself. So you need your team, and obviously your team needs to grow very often. We are human beings, imperfect, and we need to get better to show up fully. And that's what training allows to do, and specifically mindset training. Mindset training, folks, it will determine where you move forward in life, or whether you're gonna get stuck and run in circles. So mindsets, 3 mindsets that I found very useful while climbing mountains here in Cape Town. Sip of water. By the way, keep yourself hydrated as always. Your brain depends on that hydration. Otherwise, it doesn't perform well at all. Climbing mountains here in Cape Town. On Thursday, I climbed Table Mountain. I could have never imagined that I would do that when looking back in Russia, Siberia, at pictures of Table Mountain in South Africa. Never could have I imagined that I'm going to be climbing it on foot. So, Table Mountain, then Lion's Head. But Table Mountain specifically was more challenging. It took us 2.5 hours to go up, go down, a lot of steps and stairs in the mountain. 3 mindsets that helped me to persevere even though it was challenging. And the same mindsets apply to business or to health or any of your goals. So number 1, burn the boats. Once you commit to the path, whether that's climbing a mountain, or climbing business mountain, or health or fitness mountain, or any other mountain in your professional or personal lives, burn the boats, commit to the path. You know what happens to your brain when you commit to the path? Your brain actually releases more resources for you to deal with the task. Before you commit, your brain will start talking you out of not wasting necessarily, but spending resources like energy, like your decision-making machinery and talents, like your creativity. Until you truly commit to a path, your brain will not release, will not unlock, will not even start doing that, unlocking your full potential in your brain and in your body. Until you commit and burn the boats in your mind, like, I'm on this path and I'm going till the end, no matter freaking what happens. Until you do that, you will not get to all the resource pool that is available to you in your cognitive resources or your physical resources. That's how you get the second wind that runners or all kinds of professional athletes talk about that. That's how successful business people, entrepreneurs, business owners, all kinds of leaders also find their second and third wind. It's because they commit to the path. And once the brain understands that there is no way out and the only way is through, your brain will figure a lot of shit out. Sorry for my French. To get things done. And again, more energy will be released. Dopamine will help you with that. You're going to have more physical resources. You're going to have more mental, more creativity, decision-making, all kinds of resources you'll discover you have, and you didn't know you had them until you commit to the path. The problem with our world today, people have so many options that they rarely commit. And they're like, it gets hard, and then people quit. And that's why you'll never know how you actually can grow. And that was also one of the faults that I had. So now I'm more and more in that mindset. I'm not perfect yet, but I understood how actually important that is to commit fully, to burn the boats. And on the mountain, believe me, that was that was useful but there it's a little bit easier because once you're somewhere in the middle and it's hard and you still have a way to go up, but then also down, it's halfway still kind of hard work everywhere. Whereas in life, you can almost always quit and not spend more energy and your own resources, but committing to the path again. Only then all the resources, all your genius is going to be unlocked. So if you want to unlock more of your hidden potential, the first mindset skill you need to start practicing: commit. No matter how hard it is, you show up, you commit to see it through till the end, no matter how imperfectly. Mindset skill number 2: only focus on the next step. When we think about the mountain, it's about not looking up. Like, I literally, when I go up the mountain, I don't look up to the summit, to the end of the summit, to the top of the mountain, especially at the beginning, but also in the middle. Guess what? If I do that, my brain starts creating this narrative where it's hard, or, it will start again, try to talk you out. Or another thing, it will start saving the resources because your brain suddenly would understand, well, there is a huge way up to go, and I need to save resources and to not give my best to last longer. That might sound like a smart strategy, but especially in business and in life, you have a lot more resources, and those resources are replenishable, meaning you can always get some food, you can get some sleep, you can get somebody else help, and you can always get more resources. So you saving resources and not giving your all to the task at hand will make your chances for success much less, much lower. And that will obviously contribute to your failure. So that's why not looking all the way up, not looking to a bigger picture or to the end. Like, for example, you have a startup, you have a company, and you're probably going to be building it for the next 3, 5, 10, maybe even 20 years. And if you have a big goal, it is overwhelming and you are going to be spending a lot of resources there. And it doesn't help when your brain knows how far you got to go and you focus on that. And then you're going to start saving resources all the way through. And you actually, again, give yourself a bigger chance to fail, not a bigger chance to succeed. So only focus on the next step and then give it your all. Kind of like burning the boats in microwaves every single day. And again, if you don't do that and you look up to the top of the mountain, your brain will start saving resources. And maybe for the mountain, it's a smart thing to do. But for me, it was like, if I look up there, I might have a chance of, deciding to go down or start somehow down regulating my own efforts, or there's going to be a bigger chance of me quitting, or just making the whole journey now less enjoyable and having more complaints in my own brain. So for me, also fear of heights. So I don't look up because it's like overwhelming for me. I just walk up one step at a time. And that is a very, very useful mindset to have in business, especially in a startup. But any sorts of entrepreneurship, you just never know where you're going to go. So one step at a time. I was yesterday in Uber, and a taxi driver really taught me this lesson again. He wasn't talking about big audacious goals, but what he was talking really well about is the next step of upgrading his car to start riding Uber Black that will give him more income per ride. And what I learned from him, actually you will succeed better if, yes, you know the general direction, but you focus on really great execution of only the next step. So the second mindset is break your goal, break your vision into the smallest step. That is also, by the way, a strategy used by Navy SEALs on a mission and a lot of other high performers like Olympic runners, for example. So break the big goal down. Don't look at the end, at the destination, but instead focus only on the next step and doing your best at that exact step. So this mindset, and it's actually a strategy, it's a skill set, it's a practice. And so when I go in and train companies, train teams, train startups on how to, again, unlock more of their talent, more of their energy for the task at hand, instead of having overwhelmed mind and barely giving to any task anything. So we learn how to break down every single overwhelming task or project into smaller and smaller chunks and only focus on delivering your best on the next step. So this is mindset number 2. Take one step at a time. Focus only on one step at a time. And again, that will allow you to unlock more of your resources, internal and otherwise, and perform better at that step. And to be honest, the next step is the only step that matters to move your vision, your business forward. So this is the second mindset. And so the first one, again, remember, the first one, let me actually remember it. Morning and I'm blanking. Burning the boats. How could I have forgotten? But yes, so burning the boats, that is the first. And by the way, nobody is perfect. That's why if you want to start a podcast, if you want to start video production, if you want to start business, please do. You'll learn as you go. That reminds me to make better notes for my podcast. I have not made any notes for this one. So burn the boats, the first mindset. Commit to the path to unlock more of your potential, more of your resources, like really commit to it. The second one, focus only on the next step, not on the whole vision. Again, to unlock more of your resources, more of your genius, and to deliver excellent performance on the next step in front of you. And again, I'm still just like you folks, learning as I go to get better and better and better. Climbing the mountains just help because you feel it in your legs. By the end of that climb, my legs started to shake. So that definitely makes the concept more tangible, and you can really feel it in your legs even the next day. And the third one, not so much of a mindset, but my own hack. Just never look up at the summit and never focus there, but instead focus on the journey. Realize that the journey, number one, is the only thing that you're going to be experiencing for majority of your time. So climbing a mountain, how much time are you going to spend at the top? Celebrating it, or just staying at that peak? Not that much compared to the time that you're going to be climbing. So make sure to bring the right people along that climb. Surround yourself with like-minded people to work on things. If you're a leader of a company, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are building a team or have a team and still have the capacity to shape who you spend your time with. So make sure that you surround yourself with the right people while doing the climb. And make sure to look around and remember that the journey, not the destination, is what's going to shape you as a human, as a person. That's going to make you grow if you take the opportunity to learn the lessons and apply them moving forward. It's like, climbing a mountain. Once you know some rocks are slippery and you bump yourself on them one time and you have a bruise or something, hopefully a minor one, after that you either learn to be more careful and watch where you step, or you're gonna have more bruises. So the same in life, you learn through the experience. That's where you're gonna be spending most of your time. Just think about that, folks. Whatever goal you have, especially if it's a big long-term goal, most of the time you're going to be spending in the process of getting to that goal. So make sure that you enjoy the journey, not just the destination. Make sure that you're learning through experience and enjoying the views, climbing the mountains. Look around yourself, maybe not to the top, but around, like what beauty is at that moment, and experience the moment fully, with the struggles, with the challenges, with all its majestic power. Experience the awe that, by the way, is stress reducing and improves your health in all many different ways. But anyhow, enjoy the journey. Just make sure that the climb, you're gonna enjoy it. You learn through that. And don't forget to surround yourself with the right kind of people who you'll enjoy the climb with. Reminds me, I was climbing this mountain with a new friend of mine, young kid, very smart one, Monray. And he's a smart guy, and he taught me so many things through his stories on the climb. Just make sure that if you are signing up for a long journey of a couple of hours of climbing, that you have the right people climbing with you. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in the most boring conversation, and it's going to be hell. Not an experience you going to be enjoying. So that's why it's also, be careful how you are taking yourself on longer climbs, longer journeys, because you're kind of going to be stuck with them for quite a while. And not only they're going to shape your mind, not only you either learn from them or they downgrade your development, but also it's going to be a heck of a either boring or like the most excruciating journey. And again, remember, most of the time you're going to spend in the climb, in the journey, in the pursuit, not on the goal. So the right people are the most important thing for your well-being, your development, and also for the goal achievement. So the right people and this mindset, realize, optimize for the journey, not the goal. Because most of the time you're going to be spending in that journey. And that's why, again, it's important. No matter actually how many challenges you're going through, and I've been going through quite a few, no matter what's happening in your life today, at this moment, just realize this is your journey. So embrace it fully and find joy and find laughter. And find things you can learn, find things you can do better and contribute to, find things that give you the feeling of this is beautiful, this is my life. And focus only on that. And the goal, whether, it's going to be exactly how you mentioned it or slightly or a lot different, that doesn't really matter that much, because again, at the end, please do realize that your life is the journey, not the destination. So get some good people along with you. That's it for today, folks. For the next episode, we're going to have quite a few interesting topics. Number 1, 10x workflow or effective execution, all the neuroscience productivity tools you'll need to execute more and better quality in less time. So then you can reinvest that time, that energy, these resources into either more prolific work or to enjoy your life with like-minded people that you take along for the ride. So that's coming. Then we have a few books that I'm super excited to, first of all, finish reading and then sharing with you from PAR method by Tiago Forte, how to outsource your brain so your brain does its best job thinking and creating new amazing ideas and solutions. We also have Daniel Goleman with Optimal, how to sustain excellence. Also very looking forward to Chris Voss. His book is also coming out about empathy and relationships in the business world. He's one of the world's tops, if not the world's tops, FBI former negotiator who's sharing his expertise so openly, and he has so much of it, negotiating lives of people, right? So these also relationships, again, empathy and how you deal with people. It's the most important factor in business and in life. Relationships are the most important factor, are the quality of our lives and our businesses, our missions. So that's also coming in the next episodes. Also, we're going to share things like today I wanted to share with you things about lessons from my decade-long career as a physique coach, as a nutrition coach, as someone who helped a lot of people to adjust their body fat, build muscle, and all of that stuff. So I wanted to share with you that, but that's for another episode because I think I want to share more detail and it's going to take a little bit more time. So that's also coming, and that has to do with applying the right things in the right context instead of believing that carbs are fattening and I'm going to burn more fat. And if I eat more fat, spoiler alert, you only burn your body fat if you eat less calories. No matter what you eat, your body might use more fat in your food if you eat it, but on your body, it only happens when you are in a calorie deficit. There is no magic when it comes to energy, mathematics. Maybe if you give yourself diarrhea, I don't know, but I'm digressing here. So a lot of interesting stuff coming. By the way, please do help this podcast to reach more smart people, helping them to succeed. Help me on my mission to help other change agents and driven change makers to make our world better by learning how to do and be better, how to grow faster and learn faster. Share this podcast episode and all the other episodes. Share this podcast. That's my one and only ask. Screenshot it, send the link on WhatsApp, whichever way works best. Please do share it. It's a huge favor to me and just a help on a mission to spread the right kind of mindsets and skills to purpose, mission-driven people who care about making the world better. And a short recap, 3 mindsets. Burn the boats, only focus on the next step. And remember that your life is the destination, not the goal. So make sure you spend time to enjoy it and also to take the right people for the ride. Otherwise, again, you're going to be stuck with the wrong people. That's going to feel like a heck lot longer and usually more boring, but it's going to also feel sometimes like excruciating pain. So be careful who you take along for the ride. And now I'm going to shut up. I wish you a beautiful weekend ahead. On Monday, stay tuned for 10x workflow, effective execution, and to do your best as many hours as possible based on neuroscience and productivity research. So stay tuned. Have an amazing, refreshing, maybe mountain climbing weekend. If you're in Cape Town, I say hello. And till next time, be your most awesome self by working on your mindset. It's always a work in progress. Peace. Have an awesome weekend, and I'll talk to you very soon.